The first advice goes to our Tablighi brothers. Jamaat Tabligh. Y'all know them? Do you know a lot about them? طيب. Jamaat Tabligh is a group which you can consider recent in Islam, even though they trace their heritage to the way of the Sahaba, but truthfully, it was not the way of the Sahaba. They have a lot of good, let me rephrase that. They have goodness, some goodness, no doubt. The one thing, like Shaykh ibn Uthaymeen said, rahimahullah, because you have to be fair in these things. Shaykh ibn Uthaymeen said explicitly that he sees in them that there's sincerity. That there's sincerity, they are exerting themselves. There's this effort that they're making, okay? That we have to appreciate. That is, we assume they are sincere, inshallah. But the following issues have to be resolved, O Tablighis. Not for me, not for anybody else, for you with Allah on Yawm al-Qiyamah. Number one thing is, why are you a Tablighi Jama'at? Why are you a Jama'at to begin with? Who entitled you to create a group in Islam? Give me an evidence from the Quran and the Sunnah which encourages division. Give me one evidence which says you create a Jama'ah, you have your own way, and then you wind up having conflicts with other Muslims. You have no evidence for that. I'm sorry, telling it to you right now. No evidence, you have to leave it alone. The whole idea of being Jama'at Tabligh, a member, is a problem. And they're not the only ones. We will see the other ones have the same problem, and we'll give the same advice to them. But the first thing is, abandon this ideology, that you have to be a member of Jama'at Tabligh. Number two, the khuruj. This khuruj, which has no basis in terms of numbers, 3 days and 40 days and 3 months or 4 months, and then it goes on 1 year, whatever. There's no asl for this. The Sahaba did not have this kind of thing. Now they say we do this for organization purposes. We're just trying to organize ourselves and whatever. Fine, but it doesn't seem to be the case. It seems that there's a lot more to this number than that. Because they say if you didn't go khuruj for 3, I used to go with them. Some people think I'm just speaking from what I read. No, I was a Tablighi. Not full-fledged. But when I would be in the masjid and they will come, I would go with them in khuruj. We go knock on people's door. Remember the etiquette, stand on the side, don't look inside. And when the man comes, say, brother, we're waiting for you in the masjid, there's a bayan after the salah. And if his children or wife is there, we say, tell the man when he comes home that we're going to be in the masjid for salah, we're going to go for khuruj. So, I know what I'm talking about. If you don't go for 3 days, you're really not really there. I used to go for after salah, but it's not enough. They always make you feel guilty unless you have at least 3 days in your record. So it seems that the 3 days has become deen. If it was initially for facilitation purposes, it's no longer the case. Secondly, leaving the family. Akhi, some of them go for such a long time, their own family are more in more need of them than the people they give a da'wah to. A brother who hasn't prayed for 15 years, he goes to one salah, okay, and then after the salah the bayan is given. After the bayan, the paper and the pen come and say, okay, who wants to go for 4 months? He's excited, his iman is running high. Hey, me. And he takes a 4 months vacation from work. Usually he gets fired, and he leaves his family behind, and he doesn't even know the ABCs of da'wah. What are you doing going to Australia and America? They travel overseas, ticket, crazy stuff. And his own family, many women wives suffer because of this behavior of their husbands. They think fi sabilillah is home for you, habibi. In your case, stay at home. Fear Allah regarding your family. Allah will ask you about them. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu qu anfusakum wa ahlikum nara. Protect yourselves and your family from the fire. Forget about others now. When you and your family are on good terms and you're in good condition, then you can consider going out provided you have knowledge. Shaykh Al-Bani rahimahullah said it is not enough for you to have knowledge. They have to have ulama. If they want to go, they have to have ulama, because they go to countries where the culture is different and the fatwa will be different. If they're not qualified to give fatwa, what are they going to do to the people? They're going to tell them to blindly follow Imam Abu Hanifa or whatever they're doing. Number 3, lack of knowledge. Most of them are not knowledgeable. He memorizes the bayan or a combination of bayans, then he puts them together in a single bayan, then he delivers it. I've heard it with my own ears hundreds of times. If you go fi sabilillah, every shower you take, one drop is equal to 70 hajj. You haven't heard it? I've heard it, Habibi. Yeah, because he did, Allahu Alam, who he learned it from. But the brother will give the bayan, all kinds of fabricated narrations, weak narrations. Read Surah Al-Waqi'ah, you will never see poverty. Hadithun da'if. Weak hadith, ya akhi. No knowledge, no verification, creating more problem than solutions. Innovations. Innovations are part and parcel of Jamaat Tabligh, illa man rahim Allah. Illa man rahim Allah. Weak narrations fabricated, I mentioned that. Aqidah issues, Fada'il A'mal, Fada'il Sadaqat. Wallahi, these are not the kutub of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. They're not the kutub of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. They are Ash'ari Aqidah. Ash'ari Aqidah. That's very, very dangerous and very serious issue. If the Aqidah is bad, don't ask about your Salah and Siyam, because everything else is going to be pretty much bad. The most important thing is our belief system. Is understanding La ilaha illallah. Part of understanding La ilaha illallah is understanding Al-Asma' wa Sifat. In the books that they use, besides the fabricated weak narrations, my Tablighi brothers, you also don't follow the Aqidah of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, which you have to learn from the reliable sources. And then of course division and hatred. They are very nice people, but generally speaking, very nice, very kind, unless they see that you may be in opposition, in which case different colors will come. And I've experienced that myself. I was called Wahhabi, Albani, terrorist. I killed innocent people. Why? Because I told them after the salahs that Allah is above the throne. Allah is above the throne. Big fitna in the masjid. Big fitna in the masjid. The kind brothers earlier became enemies. Why? Simply because we differed on issue of Aqidah. He read Fada'il Sadaqat. Some boy said that Allah is on his right, Allah on his left, Allah is behind. I said, well, akhi, let me understand this. What do you mean Allah is on his right, Allah on his left? Are you suggesting Allah is everywhere? He said, yes. I said, Allah says, أَأَمِنْتُم مَّن فِي السَّمَاءِ أَن يَخْسِفَ بِكُمُ الْأَرْضَ فَإِذَا هِيَ تَمُورُ. He said, Then, khalas, they realized that they're dealing with someone that they will not agree with them. The niceness went away. And then all kinds of names were used and everything. Say, brother, why you do this, man? Why are you dividing the ummah? Leave alone this jama'ah. You want to give da'wah, habibi? Give da'wah 24/7. Give da'wah whenever possible. I'm not telling you don't knock on people's doors and call them to salah. But before salah, call him to Allah. Call him to tawheed. Make sure, if he knew Allah, you think he would leave alone salah? Can someone really know Allah and not pray? Had they known Allah, wallahi, they would go to the masjid, as they say, on their horns, if they had some. They really don't know Allah Azza wa Jal and His greatness and His punishment. That's why it's okay to remain at home. Now you bring him to the salah, but you don't instill in him in that, it's not going to do the job. So we have to begin with the message of Tawheed. So Jamaat Tabligh, Jazakumullah khair, you're doing good, but fix it up by first no longer being a Jamaat Tabligh. Be a Muslim, happy a Muslim, upon the Sunnah, learn the correct Aqidah, learn the knowledge from the reliable sources, and don't blindly follow anyone, and then inshallah you can give da'wah accordingly.